excited as you all to see what this whole world is about. I mean, being in it, like you said, when I first got this project, I was like, yes, 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 give it to me. When I first saw the name Taylor Sheridan, I was already intrigued. I was a big fan of his work, huge admirer of the things that he's done, the career that he's built for himself. But then when I got a chance to read what the world was about and what was going on, to see that he took a different perspective on the oil industry and what this show is based on, which is a podcast called Boomtown, I was intrigued because this is a world that I wasn't familiar with. I had no idea about the oil industry and then the different worlds within the oil industry. So when I read the script, when I understood what was going on, I said, please, please, please bring it here now.
Yeah, and I suppose when you see Billy Bob Thornton attached to it, it raises eyebrows straight away in terms of wow, such an interesting choice, such a innovative sort of a choice to sort of lead a sort of TV series. We know Billy Bob; he's rolled from movies, and he's always seen as maybe a movie type actor, but now he's brought into this world a TV series, and I suppose to roll up into work every day and to have Billy Bob Thornton on the set, it must also give you a bit of excitement as an actor because he's just legendary in the business.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the opportunity to work with someone at such caliber is one that you don't pass up. You know, to work with Billy Bob Thornton, to see that name, one that already let me know the sense of credibility that this project had, the level of quality that was going to be in this project. And so to be able to work alongside him was not only going to, you know, help me elevate my game, but also give me a childhood dream of working with somebody so prolific. I remember watching him in Sling Blade as a kid and saying, this is amazing. And that was life changing for me to be able to work alongside such a legend and such a good dude. Like at the heart, he's just a really good dude. It just so happens that he's a movie star.
Yeah, and I know really actors don't really want to give too much away before the first episode premieres and airs, and I know there's an element of contracts that you can't really say much about, but maybe just a brief glimpse in terms of your character, what he is about, if you can give a tiny bit away.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, when you meet Boss, you'll see Boss is about relationship. It's about relationship with his guys. It's about relationship with his family. He just wants to make sure that everyone is taken care of. And what that looks like, it depends on the situation. So you always question the morality of certain things or certain people. And it always depends upon the circumstances. So you'll see Boss in specific circumstances and situations where he's forced to take care of his people. But how he takes care of his people is the question. And you'll ask yourself, well, is this a good choice or is this a bad choice? And you'll see the relationships between he and Billy Bob Thornton, he and his guys and his workers, and he with him and his family. So you'll see between all of them.
And Mustafa, let's delve into the filming of Landman in terms of location and where you shot. In terms of, I know 10 episodes so far in this upcoming season. What was the working week like on set? Where was the primary locations? Was it very random from episode to episode where you were off block shooting, maybe one or two episode parts, or predominantly were you on mainly on the one set or?
That's a great question. It's a great question. The primary location was Fort Worth, Texas. Excuse me. And this is a place that I've never been before. So to be able to work there was a treat. The primary location was where I was the whole time. I mean, some of the other places were on the outskirts of different parts of, I believe it was West Texas. But I stayed in a particular area, which was like where the oil fields were. In Fort Worth, Texas. And there was a lot of block shooting that happened, but everything was smooth. I mean, working on the Taylor Sheridan production, which was my first time, I was able to see how it's a well-oiled machine, excuse me, a well-oiled machine, and everybody knew what they needed to do, and the environment was cohesive. It was a family environment. It was very smooth. It was one of the work environments that I looked forward to going to every day.
And obviously, with the secrecy that of comes with such a big, massive project, did you relocate for a short time to Fort Knox while it was taking place, the sort of shooting? And did you spend a bit of time and did you immerse yourself in that whole sort of Texas life? Did you get a sense of feel for the oil business or the feel for the heart of Texas when you were down there?
Yeah, no, and to be clear, it's Fort Worth. Fort
Fort
Knox is
Worth,
a
Fort
little
Worth, apology.
different. Fort Worth, Texas. And yeah, I had to spend quite a bit of time down there. I spent um, 2 week spans, 3 week spans at the time. I was able to come back home to Los Angeles, but I was able to delve into that world because one of the great things Taylor provided for us, which I'm grateful for, is he allowed us to train. He allowed some of the oil hands and the roughnecks, the oil workers, to train for about 2 weeks and understand our roles and positions, which is really important. One, for safety, but two, for authenticity. And I was really able to just look at what this world was like, get into the character, get into the mindset of who these guys are, get into that lifestyle. And that allowed me to bring truth and authenticity to the character of Boss.
You mentioned safety there, intriguing word. Was there a lot of eye-catching stunts, stunts that had an element of danger to them in terms of safety factors? And did you get to witness some of them up close firsthand?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as you saw in the trailer, there's a lot of different intriguing, dynamic, and dangerous situations that each person is put in, but particularly just the world of roughnecks, the world of oil rigging, oil workers is extremely dangerous, extremely dangerous. So Taylor wanted to make sure we captured the authenticity of that lifestyle. But in order to do that for actors, we had to make sure that we were safe. He wanted to make sure we were safe and provided with all of the things, one, the resources that we needed, but also the actual workers that we needed to learn from because things are so dangerous. But he made sure we were all safe and well knowledged. Uh, and we had the people around us to give us all the information we needed.
Yeah, and Mustafa, this is a big production. I'm just looking down the names here: Demi Moore, James Jordan, John Hamm, Cullum, Fiore. When you so many different actors as high caliber, so different range between male and female, I imagine there's so many different backstories to be told, which must be exciting as an actor when you're a regular on the series. That must give you hope that maybe there's a longevity to this project, that it mightn't be a one season wonder.
Yeah, well, as an actor, as a seasoned actor, and being in the business for a while, you learn to not look at it that way. You learn to enjoy the moment. You learn to put your best foot forward, and of course, there's a hope, and there's an excitement and a perspective that there may be life after it. But because we can't predict the industry, we just make sure that the moment is maximized and put our best foot forward, and then allow the audience to enjoy the work, and whatever happens from there, happens from the hair. Excuse me, happens from there. It's outside of our control.
And Mustafa, before we came on air, we had a quick sort of brief chat, and you mentioned one or two other projects that might be coming our way later in the year that we might see you on our TV screens or movie theaters in the near future. If you are able to talk about one of those one or two projects, maybe a brief synopsis or if a disclosure, whatever you can say, we'd be delighted to hear it.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate that. One of the projects that I'm really excited about that's going to be coming out is called Criminal. And this is a TV series based on a comic book series of the same name, Criminal, by Ed Brubaker and Sean. Oh, I forget his last name. Sorry about that, Sean. But this comic book series is amazingly popular around the world. And it's now a television series starring Emily Clark, uh, what's his name, Charlie Hunnam, and several other, and that's going to be on Amazon. I'm not sure when yet. We don't have a release date, but that's going to be coming out. So you can keep your eyes out for that. And I also produce and write, and I have a project that I'm currently developing called The Lighthouse. And The Lighthouse is a series that I created to look for the people in different neighborhoods. And I'm sure, out there, Ireland has those people that are key to the neighborhood and everybody looks to help keep the community going. So I'm looking for those people and connecting with them, seeing what they need to help their communities, and then bringing those resources to them. So it's an uplifting, motivating, and inspiring piece that I've created.
Fascinating, intriguing stuff. And Mustafa Speaks, I'm going to turn it over to you for the final 30 seconds. As we know, November the 17th is the launch date. It's the worldwide premiere, Channel Paramount Plus here in UK and Ireland as well. And when they turn on the very first episode of Paramount on Paramount Plus of Landman on November the 17th, Mustafa Speaks, what is the audience here in Ireland? What's in store for them?
Excitement. Just be ready. Just sit on the edge of your seat, get rid of all the distractions, and get ready for a journey, because Billy Bob Thornton, myself, and the entire cast of Landman is going to take you on a journey that you won't regret.
On that note, no regrets, a team to be excited about. For me, Jim Conlan, absolute pleasure speaking to our special guest this evening, Mustafa Speaks, who plays Boss in Landman, alongside Billy Bob Thornton, Demi Moore, James Jordan, John Hamm, Colin Fiore. The names go on and on, out on Channel Paramount Plus on November the 17th. For me, Jim Conlan, to you, Mustafa Speaks. Stay safe, take care. God bless, sir.
You too. Thanks for having me. Peace.